desert. Our plan is to make it to Sweden, and it's getting harder and harder to make it. We're low on water, and we're in the middle of nowhere, as you can see. Well, we don't know where we are at the moment. I first met Christian when I was working as a scuba instructor in Thailand.
He was a funny guy with the same interests as me.
Some of his best qualities is that he's very dedicated and very easygoing.
The worst qualities about Peter would be that he's a control freak. He always has to do stuff his way. I'm kind of the same person. I have to be in control. So sometimes we end up arguing with each other.
Me and Christian, we work pretty good together, but we are at the same time two quite different persons.
We have same kind of humor, interests, and we're on the same level.
This is... We started this trip on our ATVs in Mongolia and went through Russia, Kazakhstan, Ukraine, Poland. And our main goal was to make it all the way back to Sweden, because it has always been a childhood dream of mine to travel by land from China all the way to Sweden. When you look at the map, the distance from the Gobi Desert to Sweden, it doesn't really look that far, and there were actually roads on the maps in Mongolia that in reality aren't really there. So I thought it was going to be a lot easier.
My expectations for this trip was to see new landscapes, meet new people, and get a lot of new experience.
I knew it was going to be beautiful and majestic, but I couldn't have imagined what we found.
There was a lot of worries before doing this trip. I was nervous about getting mugged, at least in Kazakhstan and Russia, because of rumors from back home, but nothing that stopped me from doing it.
We're really an eye-catcher when we roll in with these machines and all our equipment. So that was another worry, being robbed. After we decided that we were going to use ATVs for this trip, we needed to find them, and they're quite expensive. But we managed to find the main importer here in Sweden, and they actually decided to lend us these two ATVs for this trip. Basically on the deal that if you break them or lose them, you own them.
ATV Sweden was very interested in someone that could test the machines, see what they're made of more or less.
Our lack of ATV knowledge certainly affects this trip. I didn't have any knowledge about ATVs or any mechanical experience. The truth is that I only ridden an ATV for like 10 minutes in my life.
The ATV Sweden gave us 2 hours how to fix the normal standard problems.
But this course went on very fast, and well, we picked up some things, but we forgot half of it.
We told them we had a few years experience in driving ATVs, but actually this was the first time ever.
ATV Sweden just kept underlining the safety first concept that they wanted us to follow. And that involved don't drive them too fast, don't drive in the deep sand, and make sure that you change your oil on a regular basis. So you build up all this stress about this trip, and that we are going to be the first ones to do such a journey on ATVs. Our chances of succeeding aren't very good.
The feeling of going to the airport were really nervous, because I didn't know what to expect really. I only knew that we were going away for 2 months, and we didn't know if we were going to make this trip or not.
We started our journey in Beijing in China because our ATVs were going to be shipped to Ulaanbaatar in Mongolia.
city, surrounded by a lot of Chinese, and we're lost. We think that's the exit.
When we visited the Great Wall of China, we walked around for many hours and we started to get real bored.
We didn't decide to go the normal way down the Great Wall. We decided to take the luge instead. But you couldn't go really fast with this luge. So halfway down the track, I just stopped.
We just wait for a minute, and then we'll have a good time.
And Christian actually, he's done it before, and he had this little trick where you can stop halfway, let people in front get ahead of you, and then you can go by full speed.
You think you can catch up with us? You ready?
And all the guards along the track, they just shouted at me and waving their flags in my face, like, stop, stop, stop!
Wasn't it supposed to take 15 minutes to go down? We went from Beijing to Ulaanbaatar in Mongolia by the Trans-Mongolian train, and on this train, just sitting there and looking at this landscape for hours and hours, and it didn't even change. It got you thinking a bit.
To be honest with you, the sight from the train with the desert and everything, I didn't think about what would go wrong or what hazards there would be.
Of course, the ATVs didn't really arrive on time. We had to wait for many days before we even got any sign of the agency that was shipping them.
It was delayed by almost 1 week.
So this is where we stay at the moment.
It took us a day and a half just to find a little container port where we could pick them up.
That's the one already.
Sitting on our ATVs, looked out at the landscape and said, like, this is the point of no return, and it was a fantastic feeling.
Forever planning our escape, some things will never change. Oh well, they keep on working over and over.
We stop in the middle of nowhere and we have absolutely no clue where we are.
The reason why we got lost so quickly was because we didn't know which road to go on. Because we were looking for a big paved road, just like it was on the map.
When you look at the map, there were actually roads on the maps in Mongolia that in reality aren't really there. We see 3 Mongolians coming towards us on horses, and we don't know what's going to happen.